From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
That's right, Taylor, 500 help. Taylor Heating and Plumbing for all of your air conditioning and plumbing needs. I'll tell you what, if you are in need of someone to come out and kind of look at your air conditioning, I know the middle of the country is like, having a heat wave, and it's actually nice in Rochester today. So it's a perfect time before the heat sets in here in Rochester, New York, to have Taylor Heating and Plumbing come out and do a full inspection of your AC unit. You want to do that before it breaks down in the middle of July and you're going, oh, it's sweltering. So make sure you call Taylor and the guys at Taylor 500 Help. They do heating, air conditioning, plumbing, home energy. If your house is drafty, they come out, take a look of your installation, make sure that's all working properly. They do have comprehensive maintenance plans. And if something breaks down, don't stress the important repairs because Taylor will work out a financing plan with you. And they make it all happen. It's Taylor 500 Help. If you're looking for a job, they are hiring HVAC techs, plumbers, project managers, and office personnel. Precision Lawn and Garden, North Avenue and Webster, also a big sponsor of Kimberly's Revolution. Precision Lawn and Garden has been servicing surrounding Rochester areas with professional sales, service, and parts since 1969. You need a big daddy of a lawnmower? They've got it at Precision. Ask for Kimberly or Justin, and they can help pick one out for you. They've got push mowers. They've got, zero turn mowers. They've got whatever you need. Chainsaws, all of the brands that you love, Toro, Kawasaki, Cub Cadet, Aaron's. They've got it at Precision Lawn and Garden, North Avenue in Webster. Tell them that we sent you, of course, from Kimberly's Revolution. And Express Sealers. Of course, you need your driveway sealed, right? Get on the list because Brian is super busy at Express Sealers. 645-2010. West Side, East Side only. East Side only. He's a small business, and so he doesn't have time to make it all the way across that Freddie Sue Bridge. Know what I'm saying? Express Sealers, 645-2010 to get on the list for your driveway getting sealed. And make sure that you support our advertisers. They support us here at Kimberly's Revolution and the We the People Podcast Network.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio in gorgeous, sunny, 72-degree Irondequoit, New York.
Yeah, baby.
She hasn't stopped talking since she got here, so I think I'm going to go get some lunch. Screw it.
Wear that hat of yours.
Here she is, Kimberly Ray.
Hello, it's Kimberly's Revolution, and it is the We the People Podcast Network. I am glad that you guys are joining us today. Look at Tom and his beautiful hat.
Howdy.
What are you, cowboy?
I can't pull this off.
Huh?
I didn't even shave today.
Saddle up, pony.
Just to try to get a.
What in the world?
No, it's just a terrible look.
It is a horrible look on you. Where'd you get
maybe
that?
it's the glasses.
Nope, it's the hat. Oh, that's worse. Oh my goodness.
Howdy, partner.
Oh no, no. Let me see that. Let me see your hat.
All right,
because I kind of like this. Where'd you get it?
Speedway.
See, I don't look good in hats either. No, that's bad.
No,
you could wear that on a beach though. You'd look good on a beach somewhere.
All right.
Yeah, sipping something strong on a beach. All right, it is Tuesday. Welcome to Kimberly's Revolution. We are glad you guys made it. Just Tom in the USA cowboy hat. He's looking all kinds of country western. Sure. And Austin, our producer, is there. He is.
Hello.
There's Austin. Yeah, so good to see you. Today's name of the show is Jailbreak Drama, and we're gonna break down. I don't know. I wanted to name it, the plan. Fail to plan.
Plan to fail.
Plan to fail. But apparently, we already have a show by the name of that, so we can't name it that. But when your plan is, let's just rent a hotel room in Evansville, Indiana, after we just busted out of jail, you might need a little help with that plan. And you've had all this time to plan it, and that's what you came up with? Evansville, Indiana is what you came up with?
Well,
the crying out loud.
The tourist destination of America.
Apparently. I mean, what a place to get lost in. Like they won't find a 6'9" guy there.
At the Motel 6?
Yeah. Was that where they were staying?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't know what hotel they were staying at. We're going to break down a couple of things, including the violence over the weekend in Rochester. And I think Chicago had a record violent weekend over Mother's Day because
another one?
Nothing says I love you, Mom, like breaking out the big guns and shooting people in the middle of the street. That's what I always say. We love that all of our patriots are here. Thank you for joining us. And please do support our advertisers. Taylor's Heating and Plumbing at Taylor 500 Help. You need a water heater. If you need help with your air conditioning, call them. They support us and we appreciate that. And that goes for Precision Lawn and Garden and Express Sealers. We're here and able to do this because of them. All right. So I am listing a house tonight. Actually, it goes live tomorrow. Pretty exciting. And I'm so excited that she chose Revere Realty, my client, and personally called me and said, hey, I'm moving to Florida.
Fuck it.
Here's my shock face. Where you say? Florida? Who's moving there? Oh, just about everyone we know, including my last 4 clients have moved to Florida. And I'm like, okay, wow. But yeah, she's moving to Florida. I'm listing her little ranch in Penfield. It goes live tomorrow morning. I'm taking the pictures today. You're putting up the for sale sign today.
$1 million.
That's it.
All right.
No, it's very well priced. It is under 200. It is well within a good price point, I believe. So we're excited about that. Let me just tell you that a 30-year fixed rate is 5.27.
Need to get a haircut.
Yeah, you think? So the 30-year fixed rate is what? Did you see that? What is wrong with you? 5.27.
5.27.
The highest mortgage rate since 2009. And 31% of people say they're thinking about taking on a roommate. Don't do that. You will hate yourself. Do not take on a roommate to help yourself pay the mortgage.
Hey, honey.
That is a bad plan. That is a bad idea. I'd work a second job and a third before I ever ask some stranger to come freaking live with me, for God's sakes.
Hey, honey, I'd like to introduce you to our new roommate, Vanessa.
Yeah, bad idea.
No?
Bad idea. So, yeah, so we closed on a house yesterday and pretty excited about that. And I'll just say her name. Her name's Shelly. And she's our age. She's a little bit younger. She might be 51 or 52.
Everybody's younger than me.
Never bought a house before. She's a first-time home buyer. In fact, I was working with 2 clients, a set of clients right now that have never owned. They've always rented. And then, of course, my buyer that closed on her home yesterday. We're excited about that. And then listing this house. If you're thinking about, hey, I don't know what my house is worth. Hey, what can we sell it for? We're thinking about selling. Call us here at Revere Realty. We'll tell you, right?
I can do that.
You can do that. I can do that. We can all do that here at Revere Realty. Of course, we're in the building of Revere Realty, and you're an appraiser and a broker and a licensed real estate agent. So here we are, and I sell homes as well. I don't know about you. Had a good Mother's Day weekend. Did you? I saw pictures. Were you at the Buffalo Zoo?
We went to the Buffalo Zoo.
I've never been there. How's the zoo?
It's confusing.
Yeah, you could just leave the head alone. Just put it down.
I'm a 5-year-old.
Yeah, just put it down.
It's confusing because there's
Buffalo?
no real pattern to it. So you just kind of wander around and hope to see everything.
Okay.
And they don't give you paper maps anymore. As an old guy, I like paper maps.
What do they give you?
Well, you got a QR code on your phone.
That's the worst.
Blow it up.
That's awful.
So
I hate restaurants that do that too. Give me a freaking menu.
Yeah.
Does it kill you to give a menu? Just give a freaking menu. That's
the nice part about the Seneca Park Zoo here, though, is you just kind of go to the right and you walk around, you come back on the left, and you've seen everything.
Right. Like the baby giraffe.
Yeah.
They had a new baby giraffe.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I took my mother on Mother's Day because
to the casino.
Who doesn't want to go to the casino on Mother's Day? Yeah.
I didn't see a big ticket winner, so
she won 1,000.
Wow.
But would lose
Lost
some.
2,000?
And then no, she only brought a certain amount of money that she had won the last time from, I think, Batavia Downs. We went to Finger Lakes, and then I took 20 and she gave me 20 to put a bet on a horse for her. And had I noticed this other horse that joined, I think late in the day on Friday, the one that made the big win, I think it was stunning odds, 80-1. The second biggest upset in Derby history We have the video for you. My mom's horse was the favorite. Zandon, I think was it the name of that horse. And you picked Epicenter, right?
Almost.
You picked Epicenter. You were
Almost.
so close. Did you go to OTB?
No, I didn't.
Off track betting?
No,
Can
I
we see
forgot
that
all
video?
about it.
If you didn't see the Kentucky Derby, and I always like to watch. Of course, it's all day shenanigans up
Right.
until like 6:57.
You have big hats.
Yeah, they got big hats just like yours.
Yeah.
Let's see that final. That was amazing.
Zozos is next after 3/4 in 1 minute 10 and 4/5 seconds, and now Epicenter.
He rides a horse like I drive.
Right. So there's Rich.
Get out of my way.
Rich Strike, which my husband's name is Rich. I would have
What
bet
the
on that
hell were
horse
you
for him.
thinking?
He wasn't on my list of horses because he didn't join until late Friday afternoon. Here he comes. Look at him. He's coming up. He's not even close to being winner.
The announcer doesn't even know. Listen to the announcer here at the end.
Your horse, man.
Ran out of gas.
Sure did. Who?
What?
What happened? That's
He didn't
amazing.
He didn't even announce him until
He didn't even know. He's like,
10
what the
feet.
hell? What?
yeah,
Who's coming? Who's
10 feet from
where?
the finish line.
He's like, oh my goodness. That is so my husband's name is Rich. Had that horse been on the list,
If a shoulda, woulda, coulda.
I would have taken out another 20 and I would have put 20 down, which would have given him almost $2,000, I think. $20 on an 80 to 1 shot. I think that's about $2,000.
That's bad
so
planning.
1,800. It's a bad planning.
Bad planning.
Horrible on my end.
Should have
but
had that. You're the I pick horses by
But
their name girl.
I know. I picked Smile Happy because
Bad decision.
I've got a smiley face tattoo, and so I'm generally always smiling unless I'm not. But I loved that.
I think
And
pretty much everybody's always smiling unless they're not.
when you are smiling, really?
Isn't that kind of true?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is
I
there
don't know.
anything besides that?
But I love that. And I also have to tell you, speaking of money, because we've got a lot of it here, right?
Yeah.
And I know a
Rolling
lot.
in it.
Patriots, you've got a lot of money, right? I know. And by the way, if you want to advertise on this show, you are more than welcome to advertise. I mean, we take a fee, of course.
Just a small fee.
We're not doing it for cheap, right? But you can advertise on this show.
Revere Realty.
That's right.
It's a title sponsor.
Yes. So if you also want to be a title sponsor and have your name on the flag back behind us.
Well, right now nobody's name's on the flag.
But there were people's names
Yeah.
earlier on the flag. Andy Warhol, who has been dead for 35 years, and Marilyn Monroe, who's been dead even longer, he just shattered the record for the most expensive American art sold ever. And
Really?
that's the piece that sold, that Marilyn Monroe piece, Andy Warhol. Is that crazy? I think it was
212 million, I'm gonna guess.
no, I think it was, of course, I had it written down somewhere else. But it was pretty expensive. Hold on. 195 million.
Wow, that was pretty close.
You were pretty close. 195 million, which was a record. Marilyn Monroe's, Andy Warhol's portrait of her.
Got a bargain.
Here are two dead celebrities making more money than you and I will. And of course, it was an anonymous buyer. But who wouldn't love to have that?
Probably took them like 20 minutes to paint it by the looks of it.
And
I think kindergartners do just as well.
if you have not seen on Netflix, it's the tapes that had never been around for you to listen to. I think it's called, so I don't remember what it's called, the show on Netflix, but it's pretty interesting about what actually happened to Marilyn Monroe the day of her death. Like, she wasn't dead. She was in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. Wasn't dead, died in the ambulance, so they say. So they took her back to her house and then apparently staged the whole thing. So I know. It's
Yeah,
pretty
her
crazy.
and Anna Nicole Smith, and there's always the same ones that
Right.
died that, always have these
It's-
specials.
Situations that they move evidence, and things kind of get crazy. But yeah, 195 million. I mean, I got to be honest. If I had that much money, I don't know that I'd be buying
No.
like that. Or I
100%.
might. I mean, I don't know.
If I had that much money
Yes.
to like spend on art,
Yes,
I
Austin.
would buy the art and then like throw it in like a paper shredder or something, just out of like.
Oh, you're
spite.
like that guy.
Yeah.
There's a guy that does stuff like that. He's got a name. I forget what it is, but yeah, he does stuff like that.
Kimberly, I drive a 2011 Camry, so I don't, what am I going to do with that?
Yes, but more importantly, what does your wife drive?
Oh, she drives a new car. Yeah, that was our deal. I struck a deal with her father when we got married that she will always have a new car.
Very good.
So
that works.
I've lived up to that bargain so far.
That works. That works for me. All right. So let's start with this. We've said it. I've said it 100 times, whether it be on my old radio show or whether I've said it.
You were
here.
on the radio?
Shocking. I know. Who knows?
Who knew?
For years I was on the radio. I know.
Did you have a guy wear a hat like this?
No, but no. But it's cute nonetheless. Inmates have nothing to do but sit and plan all day, 24/7, 7 days a week about how to get out of jail and how to talk someone in to helping them get out of jail. And I'm not saying that this particular corrections officer in Alabama was talked into anything, because they're saying that she seemed to be the mastermind of this whole plan to break out of jail. There she is. That's Vicky White. That is the guy, the murderer that she busted out of jail, Casey White. They are not related. He is 38. She was 56. Because as you knew was going to happen, and I think we said it last week, you're going to get caught. It's just a matter of time unless you have a plan. Their dumbass plan was, hey, let's bust out of prison in Alabama. Well, where are we going to go? I know, Evansville, Indiana. Sounds like a plan to me.
You know you're a redneck when this is how you plan your jailbreak.
So there he is. That's his new mugshot. He was arrested yesterday after a car chase arrest in Evansville, Indiana. Vicky White, she was driving, and after the wreck, she and you'll see a picture of the car. There's the car. It's a Cadillac. I think it was one of 3 total cars that they had during this 11-day vacation.
It looks like they needed to get the insurance, Kimberly.
Apparently they did not. So they crashed after a slight chase, and she shot herself in the head because, she was facing a slew of charges. And you don't want to be a corrections officer, as she probably well knows, after working in the business for 17 years and retiring, throwing her life away for this guy. She shoots herself in the head, and I think overnight it was determined that she was
couldn't she just claim the victim card in that, the old sad story, and
he manipulated me,
throw yourself on the mercy of the court?
Here's what's different between this story and the Clinton correctional story is that woman up at Dannemora in the North Country that we say here in New York State, it was a jailbreak. God, was it like 5 years now? 5-6 years ago? At least that long ago, 6 years ago, maybe.
I think you have to add 2 to everything now because of COVID.
Joyce,
so if you're thinking 5, you just got to go 7.
Yeah. Joyce Mitchell was the woman that helped those 2 guys, Richard, Matt, and David Sweat, murderers, both of them escape. She brought in like everything you could imagine to help them escape, like weapons and, material that they could saw with and all kinds of stuff. But she didn't actually show up when she was supposed to with the car to help them. This was the difference between Joyce Mitchell, because I think she only did 5 years, and this woman who planned the whole thing, sold her house, had the cash, bought the cars, had a plan, I guess, up to a point, and then chucked it all in Evansville, Indiana. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would think that I would have the whole thing planned out to the very end, and it wouldn't include Evansville, Indiana, right?
Well, maybe they just wanted to blend in with a lot of white people.
Evansville, Indiana isn't all what you're aware of that, right? Are you saying
Indiana.
that for a joke? It's Evansville, Indiana, which I think is where Michael Jackson grew up, right?
I have no idea.
It's not Lily White. So they had been hiding out in Evansville, guys, since May 3rd. They dumped their F-150 pickup truck that they stole at a car wash on May 3rd. They had been staying at a hotel. They paid for 14 days. Like, you're not going to get recognized hanging around in Evansville, Indiana? I have no idea what they were doing. In the Cadillac that you saw there, because they had the police cruiser that they dumped, and then they had like a Ford SUV, and they, dumped that on the side of the road somewhere. And then they stole an F-150 that they left at a car wash. And then they picked up this Cadillac somewhere.
Mhm.
And you're doing all this, but you're staying in Evansville.
Isn't that, what's it, like hanging low, or what's the terminology where you're
Being stupid?
where you're just letting it all boil over while you kind of sit in one spot and then you react later?
I think that's a bad plan.
That's a bad plan.
I think it's a very bad plan. They had
so your plan is escape and get out as fast as you can and go as fast as you can.
Keep on running to wherever it is that I plan on running to, but you got to have a plan.
Mhm.
They had fake IDs. They had wigs in the car. They had $29,000. I don't know what happened to the $90,000 that she made off of her house when she sold it, because she had sold her house. She had told some of her friends after retirement, because she retired, had put in her retirement papers,
Mhm.
she was going to relocate to the beach. That is not Evansville, Indiana. So there she is, dead, and he's going to jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he got a 2-week vacation and she's dead.
But, there's someone always videotaping. So the police chase yesterday that ultimately led to their capture, someone got on their phone the video and they tweeted it. And here it is.
All right.
I don't know. Can we not hear it or no?
At my job, dude, he was just flying through the fucking building and everything.
Running through the building?
Right, dude, I swear to God, I'm looking at it right now. They just got him. They flipped the fucking car, bro.
Record it.
Miguel is. Holy shit, they got him. Stop right here, bro. Stop right here, right there. Get in the grass. Get in the grass. They just drug him out. They just drug him out. They got right here, right here. Stop right there. Stop. She's in the car too.
In the cop car?
Yes, they was in a Cadillac. They shot him. They shot him? Hell yeah, they did. I knew he's coming out to get busted here. Oh, bro, he went through the fucking gate from work and everything, bro. He went through the gate at work where we're usually at. They spun him out into the grass and he went through the building and shit. Hang on, just put the hazard light things here.
Wow.
Yeah, this. Oh, dude,
These actually should do Monday Night Football. They're good.
I know, right?
Good play
So
by
there they
play.
are. I mean, they're getting the whole thing. I mean, it's pretty amazing that they were actually there for that, right? I
Yeah.
mean that is pretty wild. But there, Casey White and his lover, Vicky White, the corrections officer, caught up with him yesterday, ending the nationwide manhunt that began on April 29th. And where did they find him? Where everyone wants to go when they finally escape from prison for murder, Evansville, Indiana.
Hey, Kimberly, I'm going to give you some advice that I gave my kids.
Yes.
And I'll give everybody the same advice. If you think you're doing something that's stupid, it probably is.
So do it anyway.
That was the only thing I ever told my kids.
So do it anyway.
If you think this is stupid, it probably is. Don't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I look at stuff like that. So they had to, and again, the name of today's show is Jailbreak Drama. So we don't have jailbreaks going on here. We just have,
we just let them out.
We just let them out and they go back out and start killing people.
Right.
We just let them go.
We
just
had
let
them
him out and so there was a guy over the weekend that had been in prison since 2009. Don't know his name, doesn't really matter. He's just a waste of human flesh. He had killed a woman in 2008. He was sentenced in 2009, and they parole him in 2019 because whatever it was,
COVID.
no, it wasn't COVID. It was before COVID. He was charged, instead of being charged with murder, he was charged with manslaughter. And by the way, he killed a woman sitting in her car. And he said, I didn't mean to kill them. But yet he took out a gun and he shot into the car. And so for that reason, he gets a manslaughter, right? That's the first fuck up
Mhm.
ever. That, I fired into the car, but I didn't mean to shoot anyone. Anytime you shoot your gun, I'm taking it as you're trying to kill me.
Yeah, actions have
Right?
consequences.
So he gets let out. Last year, this is a guy who'd been in prison for 10 years and was paroled for murder. He gets out, he's on parole, he pistol whips another man. He's arrested for that. Did they throw him back in prison?
No. After the guy gets the break of a lifetime.
No.
Only
no.
10 years?
No, they put him back out on the street. And I think we have one of the tweets about
you would
violence.
think he'd have been thankful, to get out after 10 years, start his life over.
Right.
No.
Not grateful.
No.
What do? You get back out on the street and you attempt to kill 2 Rochester police officers.
Oh, of course.
That have you cornered, right? So look at that. I mean, over the weekend, 9 shootings, 3 stabbings, 3 houses shot. It's 8 houses now, by the way. But this guy,
and a partridge in a pear tree,
who had just gotten out of prison in 2019, attempts to kill 2 Rochester police officers. And we don't think we have a problem here. We don't think that we have some kind of an issue that needs to be addressed immediately. I don't even know, Then there was 4 shootings on Mother's Day alone, and they're not happening in the wee hours of the morning, guys. 4 shootings happened between 12 and 1 p.m. on Sunday. That's the crazy thing. Look at that. I think we have another one of those tweets as well. Another murder, another parolee. 5 out of the 13 closed murders in 2022 equal parolees. And that is a fact.
And those 5 people should not be dead right now.
I mean, it's the craziest thing. So now Donovan Humphrey, who was also out on parole, has been charged with attempted aggravated murder of a police officer, accused of firing at police responding to a domestic situation here in Rochester on Friday. And then how many houses do we have shot up? 8. 8 total houses with people in them. And last night, I think it was Parcells and Ackerman. Is that what you have?
Yeah, over by Webster Avenue there.
Yeah, Parcells and Ackerman. 1 a.m. for Ackerman Street, or early this morning. That was a house that had 3 adults and 5 children. No one was injured. That was on Ackerman. And then on Parcells, you had the house shot up at 11 p.m. last night, and then again at 5:30 this morning.
What? I mean,
that house was targeted twice.
I have a question that
Why?
there probably is no answer to, but what are these people, if you don't hit anybody, let's just assume you don't hit anybody, and you drive by and you put, 10 bullets into a house.
Mm-hmm.
What do you get for that? I mean,
I don't even know.
I mean, do they just kind of let you go
Mm-hmm.
after you shoot at a house?
I
mean, I just don't understand this. Where is this coming from? That I'm old, and
right.
I've never heard of people, unless it's the movies.
It's a drive-by shooting.
I've never heard of people just randomly shooting houses.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, what? I mean, what?
Well, let me give you the addresses. I mean, Parcells, Ackerman, Bidwell Terrace, and the 300 block of Grand. Those were all the houses that were shot up over the 24-hour period 24-hour period, and then 4 shootings in the middle of the day on Sunday. And then you have your random, stabbings. Can you pull up that last tweet? There, Austin, the great producer, the no, the one with the woman being tasered. It was the last tweet. I think it was. There we go. So on Parcells, can you bring that down a little? It was a domestic dispute. Female had a knife, threatening to stab her girlfriend. Okay, whatever turns you on. The RPD was on the scene. She refused to drop the knife, holding the knife in the air, and the female at gunpoint. She had to be tased 4 times. And Beanbag finally brought her down. She was charging at officers with the knife. They should have just shot her. Shoot her, kill her, be done with it. But they didn't. They tased. How many times you got to tase someone with a knife that's coming at you? And people wonder why anyone wants to be a police officer and why we have, the lowest police count, and everyone wants them defunded. But who's going to deal with that kind of nonsense when there's no support?
Well, obviously they probably could have shot her.
They should have.
But I mean, let's face it, they did the right thing. They took every measure they could not to. But she's going to be,
at what cost, though?
She's going to be
one of these days. At what cost?
She's going to be back on the street, and then she's going to kill whoever she wants to kill.
Maybe next time the police officer will arrive, by themselves, like Denny Wright, the police officer 2 years ago that was stabbed in the eyes and is blinded for life because, this guy had been in and out of prison.
But at some point, if she keeps up this trend, she's going to actually hurt somebody or kill somebody. And then what? Then we're going to look back at today and we're going to say, well, I guess they should have shot her.
Right.
Because she took somebody else's life 3-4 years later.
So Monroe County District Attorney of Rochester, New York, Sandra Dorley's office has been looking into this whole parolee thing and people who are violent offenders that are constantly just let out onto the street after their violent offenses. In 2020, 113 defendants were on parole at the time that they committed another violent offense. 5 of them who were charged with homicide were on parole at the time of the killing. In 2021, 100 defendants were on parole at the time they committed a violent offense. 8 of those were charged with homicide, were on parole at the time of the killing. Through May 8th of this year, 45 defendants were on parole at the time they committed a violent offense, and we're only into May.
And every one of those acts was preventable.
Absolutely, 100%. In 2022, so far, over 1/3 of the individuals arrested by the Rochester Police Department in connection to homicides were on parole at the time of the murder. The statistics, people, you can't argue with them. Statistics. Crime is up and the number of police are down. And guess who it's affecting? It's affecting the very people who were calling for defund the police. That's the crazy thing I don't understand. That's the nutty thing.
Well, the majority of the crimes are still being committed by other people that have not been in jail or paroled. But the point being is those aren't preventable because you don't have a radar on that person. But we know who the violent people are.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing?
Letting them out.
You're letting them out.
All the Democrats want to let these people out. And then they holler when someone comes at an officer with a knife and gets shot and killed. But kudos to these officers who tasered that woman 4 times and then shot her with a beanbag.
Yeah.
That's patience.
They did everything they could.
That is patience. So you cannot say that cops are out there just killing, whomever they can. But I got to tell you, someone comes at me with a knife, I'm doing everything that I can to make sure that I'm not bleeding out on some floor. I have to tell you.
Right.
I don't know what else, to say about that. You're listening to and watching Kimberly's Revolution, and we appreciate that. It is the We the People Podcast Network. Please support our advertisers. Here's another thing that kind of blows me away. This whole idea of
Howdy, ma'am.
doxing Supreme Court justices. I mean, have you been seeing that?
I have been.
Yeah. Thoughts? You have a thought in that head with that hat on?
Where's Chad been? Is Chad down there now? Chad, where are you?
I don't think that Chad would be protesting outside of Supreme Court justice homes. I don't know. Is that where you're going with that? I don't know where you're going with that.
I would just have the sign that says I'm with stupid.
Okay.
I don't have any idea what to do with that. These people are nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell are you doing?
So it was yesterday. They were at Supreme Court
they should all be arrested.
Alito's home, and he's the one that wrote the the thing about abortion. He had the draft.
That's
that was
what we're
leaked.
calling it now. The thing.
Well, he had the draft that was leaked to the Politico about the decision on Roe versus Wade to overturn Roe versus Wade. So now protesters have doxed the Supreme Court justices, put out their addresses, and so now we're seeing a multitude of these Supreme Court justices, obviously the conservative ones.
And then what are they going to do when one of these people end up dead?
I want to show you
because some crazy person,
Well, I think it's to picket at a judge's home is especially problematic because it tries to bring direct pressure upon that judge whose very decision should be making a decision that is controlled, a decision where you have evidence laid before you that's rational. You don't want a judge making decisions because he's scared about some loony crowd chanting in his neighborhood. That's disgusting.
And actually,
right? We pick our judges for a reason.
Actually, the opposite is probably happening because these are very strong-willed people that when you do that, it'll be like, well, I'll show you, I can't imagine that they're going to go back now. I mean, what's the point?
But the protests are part of this disturbing trend that which groups descend on the homes of people that they disagree with. I mean, look at here during the 2020 riots, they were going out to the district attorney's house in Webster. They were going out to police officers' homes, and you should not have to. I mean, you can go where they work and whatever, City Hall, the Supreme Court Justice Building, wherever that is, you can picket there and protest. But why go into a neighborhood where other families live and make it a very dangerous, scary place?
And most of them are Democrats.
And I will
that live there.
Are they?
Sure. In Washington, they all work for the government. They're all the swamp.
Let's see some. Do we have that video of the protesting of the judge's house over the weekend?
I wonder if any of his neighbors walked outside with a sign.
Can you imagine that? I mean, that's scary. That's your Biden White House for you. Refuse to condemn.
Biden doesn't have a view on whether or not protesters ought to show up at the private homes of Supreme Court justices. Watch this.
The president believes in peaceful protest. He believes that's part of our democracy and part of the history of the United States and this country. But he also respects and understands the independence of the third branch of
the third branch of government, obviously. So basically, that's all the White House has to say about the protesters showing up at the homes of Supreme Court justices because they don't agree with the opinion of what may or may not be the final ruling of Roe versus Wade.
Didn't they build like a giant fence around Congress, when January 6th happened? Why can't they just barricade these streets down and let just the people that live there in and out?
How would you like to live there?
But still, why are they letting these people there? Why can't they just block the streets off like they do for a parade, for crying out loud?
Right.
But yet we're going to let hundreds of people, go outside of somebody's house and do that.
I think it's disgusting.
Just block the damn streets off and let the people drive in and out that live there.
I think it's, and of course, I don't know if their families are home. They've probably, moved their family, but what a pain in the ass. To have to deal with this.
Do you think Justice Kavanaugh's regretting his decision about being on the court? That poor guy's taking more heat than anybody.
And these people are crazy. There was it's your body, right? I am for freedom of choice. I've said that. But when it comes to violence, that's a completely different thing. There's a pro-life organization in Wisconsin, an anti I guess there's a building that was set on fire. They're not saying if it's arson, but they do believe that it could be, and it's tied obviously to pro-choice activists setting the building on fire. But when it comes to violence, then you have a little bit of a problem, right?
Yeah, what was the decision on all those things from the riots? Back then, none of those people probably went to jail, did they?
I think some of them went to jail and they just got out.
Yeah.
But the building, before the fire broke out, the building was vandalized with the message, if abortions aren't safe, then you aren't either. So pro-choice protesters set a anti-abortion group's building on fire. You can't do it. It's being investigated as arson, but they don't think it's terrorism, but whatever. But that's a threat to me. If abortions aren't safe, then you aren't either. That's a direct threat.
Sure is.
That you're going to kill someone. I think there are cameras everywhere, people. I'm saying there are loonies out there. And I think that's when you look at it as a whole, these are the people that are the fringe. Don't you think?
Sure.
The ones that are
the top of the circle.
They're the ones out there doing crazy things. These are not normal individuals. Normal individuals have rational thought and can discuss things and not go burn a building down. Realize that abortion in some cases is necessary, but it's not a decision anyone takes lightly, right? It's a serious issue that you have to really make a decision on. And an abortion should not be a form of birth control. I think we can all agree on that.
It's a personal decision.
There's a woman, I'm going to play this video. It speaks for itself. Can we roll the video, Austin?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Here's my feeling about the leaker. I would like to find out who the leaker is so I could make sweet love to that person, because that person is a hero to me. Okay. And if the leaker, a lot of people are saying it could be a conservative. If the leaker is a Republican, and if I get pregnant during our lovemaking, I will joyfully abort our fetus and let them know. I don't know if that answered your question. I probably didn't.
Oh, it did. That you're evil, that you're Satan, that you should not have a voice because something is critically wrong with your brain. Yeah, Lori, you've kind of answered our question, but thank you for being so kind. What the is that?
Well, it's not much of a surprise, right? The news is not the news anymore. This is just clickbait. She's trying to get a name for herself.
I'm disgusted by this.
She's trying to get a name for herself.
The name for herself is crazy mofo.
She'll get a good job out of that.
Oh my God. Really?
Yes. These freaking people, they all back each other up. She'll probably get a Nobel Prize for that.
I want to play her again because she's so fucked in the head.
Oh yeah. She's crazy.
It was a little
Yeah, so here's the thing. Here's my feeling about the leaker. I would like to find out who the
Watch
leaker
the other
is
people
so I could make sweet love to that person, because that person is a hero to me. Okay. And if the leaker, a
Yeah.
lot of people are saying it could be a conservative. If the leaker is a Republican, and if I get pregnant during our lovemaking, I will joyfully abort our fetus and let them know.
Did she just wear a condom?
Question. I probably didn't.
Yeah, you
it was a
answered the
little-
question. The question is that it's too bad you're breathing. that's I think that is where I need to go with this. You are welcome to whatever, but to say something like that is the height of stupidity. I think it's something everyone, needs to really, think about
Yeah.
before they go and spout off something like she just did.
There is a reason for abortion. What would be for her, right?
Well,
Some people
there's
need
a
to
lot
be,
of people I could say that about, but I
some people
won't.
need to be swallowed, Kimberly.
Yeah. Ew. Ew. Not on this end.
No,
Not doing that.
no, not so much.
Not. But yes, and here you have our governor of the state of New York, Kathy Hochul, saying, "Hey, I'm going to give $35 million
That's all?
to make sure that abortions are legally funded in the state of New York." Meanwhile,
Chump change.
You can't get baby formula.
Nope.
You can't get baby formula because for some reason there's a shortage.
Lots of
And
babies.
So they're limiting. Listen, they want you to kill the ones that you're getting ready to bring into this world.
Right.
And then they want to make sure that the ones you have here can't eat. And someone said, well, that's why everyone should breastfeed. I know, you guys, what are they called? The women that breastfeed all the time. There's a name
Smart.
for them. Well, but some people are unable to breastfeed, and I was
Right.
one of them. They're wacko. It's like a cult. It's all of them. They get
The
together.
breastfeeders cult.
It is like a cult. They have a name
They
for
have
it.
their
Starts
own
with an-
Facebook group page and
they
everything.
They actually do. It starts with an L. Can you look that up, Austin? The breastfeeding group.
Lactate Anonymous.
Yes, but these people are crazy. I mean, there's how is there a shortage of formula?
People are stealing it.
How is there people have always stolen baby formula.
Babies gotta eat.
I know at one point in time there was an issue with some of the baby formula, but tracking down the baby formula is like a game now that you have to play from the time you get up until the time you go to bed. Almost 40% of formula brands were sold out during the last week of April, a massive 8% jump from the week before.
They always have a big crate of it at Costco.
Several obviously reasons. They say COVID, supply chain. Why is it affecting us now when everything is back open, when people are back to work?
COVID's on the rise again.
I know there was a recall of 4 brands because of, there was a production issue, and I think some of the Similac formulas, they were having issues with it. But the fact is, we should not have a shortage of baby formula that people use they have to feed their baby. Is your granddaughter?
She's still
Baby
on
Sophia,
formula.
she's still on formula. Where
Yeah.
are you getting it?
Costco. They have a whole crap load of it there.
Costco?
Yeah.
Some parents say they have to travel out of state to find formula. On eBay, it's going for quadruple the amount of money
So you're
it's
saying
regularly
we should
sold
go
for.
to Costco, buy a whole pallet of it, and then sell it on eBay?
Can you get it in pallets?
They
Because,
would, I guess.
Because a lot of grocery stores have this sign up that we just showed you. Baby formula.
All right.
What is going on? You can't get cat food.
Yeah, I've noticed
You
the
can't-
cat food.
You cannot get baby formula. So they don't want you feeding your cats or your babies. What's up with that?
Maybe they're feeding the babies cat food and the cat's baby food.
This should not be happening in America. This should not be happening in America.
It's Joe Biden's
You
America.
yeah. Joe Biden's America is also going to show that gas prices are going to jump 20 cents again.
Well, it always does,
It's
right?
gonna jump
Memorial Day weekend.
20 cents by the end of next week. That is not Memorial
I think
Day.
I'm going to buy a Tesla, Kimberlina. What do you think?
Yeah, you go ahead and buy a Tesla.
What do you
Find
think?
out how well that works for you. But again, gas prices could jump another 20 cents by next Monday.
Yeah, it's always this time of year.
Next Monday.
Yeah.
So I know there was a recall in February, but honestly, the recall in February should not be affecting other brands of formula. Yeah, we're building back better, all right. Babies are starving, and they want the babies that you haven't had just to be killed off completely, and then we're just going to starve the rest of them.
Yeah, just get rid of. We don't need babies anymore. Just get rid of babies.
Did you find the name of that group they called the something?
No, I don't know how to Google for that. I tried.
Austin's very uncomfortable Googling for lactating moms. It's called La Leche. La Leche.
La Leche.
La Leche. And they're nuts.
Let's just get rid of all
They
babies.
think you should absolutely be
We
breastfeeding
don't
at
need
all
them.
costs. And I'm like, that's great, except for after about 2 weeks, I wasn't producing any milk. And so you can't breastfeed if you don't, whatever. So you have to find another option. But yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
So you can't get baby formula. You can't get cat food. Gas prices are going up. Interest rates on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage is going up.
Nobody panics until the toilet paper's gone. Though.
We're in a world of hurt, guys. We're
in a world of hurt.
World of hurt. I mean,
Yeah.
what is going on?
Stock market's not doing so good either.
Stock market shit the bed yesterday,
Yeah,
didn't it?
right.
Yeah, it was messy.
It's a messy day.
Okay, here's the thing. Don't look at your
401k.
401k. Don't look at your retirement.
Wait at least 3 months.
Don't do it. Just don't. If you want to be depressed, go out and try to find baby formula and cat food and come home and look at your 401k. You're going to be screwed completely. Right. I mean, it's going to be a bad day for you. So I recommend that you do not do that at all. You got anything today?
I got a couple things.
You had nothing to say on the Supreme Court justices, but you got something to say?
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
I mean,
we got time for one thing. Go ahead.
They signed up for it, right? If you're a Supreme Court judge.
You don't sign up for people that are crazy to come, protest on your street.
It's kind of part of the job.
I don't think it is, actually. You can protest where
it's
they
not
work.
part of their family's job, right?
It is a sad state of affairs.
It's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt.
And these people are crazy. Again, they've already burned down an anti-abortion building in
all right, Kimberlina,
Wisconsin.
Tell me what you see immediately when this comes up. What do you see?
Your stupid hat?
Look, what do you see?
We did this last week.
No, it's a different one.
It is not.
It's a different one.
Austin, it's the same one, isn't it?
I don't remember
see the guy
doing this
with
one.
the nose and his smile.
Okay. What that means, if you see the crappy looking wide face guy.
Yeah, he's a guy with a hair.
The wide jaw.
He's got the nose.
That means that you neglect details, but you go for the big picture, that you're an extrovert and that you are socializing, chatting, and you like hanging out in being a fun-loving person.
All except for the last part.
Now, what's the other one? What's the other thing you see? You see the other thing?
Is it a girl?
It is. It's a woman with dark hair.
Okay.
And if you see that, that means that if that's the first thing that you see,
it is not the first thing I see.
That means that you have sharp observational skills and an eye for detail.
I have none of that.
That you are reserved in your character and you are introverted.
Yeah, definitely not.
And if you see none of that, that means you need to get your eyes checked.
You're just fucked up.
All right. And the last thing, real quick, new kitchen trends.
Ooh,
real
I love
estate
this.
new kitchen
yes,
trends.
New kitchen trends.
Number one,
looks like Jay Leno, someone says. Yeah, kind of, Mike.
Number one, all white kitchens are out. You gotta start getting rid of your dreams for having an all white kitchen.
Okay. I don't have a white kitchen.
It's a
I've never really
design
liked
mistake.
a white kitchen.
It means that you're soulless if you have an all white kitchen.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Really? Is that where'd you get that?
This is what this designer was saying. You're soulless.
Okay.
And it's instantly outdated if you have a white kitchen.
I disagree.
Okay,
I disagree with that.
number two.
I just have to disagree.
Open plan kitchens are out.
No.
Okay. Now with these open plan, they say you should zone your space instead
Okay.
of having an open kitchen. To zone little areas instead. That's
Okay.
number two. Number three, patterned backsplashes.
Yeah.
Patterned black splashes.
I gotcha.
No, patterned
Okay, stop.
back splashes.
Yes.
They're out. You want to have, more of a solid tone backsplash.
Yeah, that's what we have.
Open shelving is out. Remember how
that
open
is the
shelving was so
worst.
cool?
No, it's never been cool. You know why? Because you have to have everything in your shelves
what they
look
say.
nice. It is impossible.
You have
I
to be
just-
immaculate to have it.
I want to hide the clutter, and it's just
It's a
the
bad
open
idea.
shelving is a bad idea. It's
And
always
last,
been a bad idea.
Navy is way overdone. People, you got to get rid of the navy.
The Navy just came out.
It's overdone.
Or they're
It's
doing
out.
the bottom halves of the islands in navy or emerald green. I think it's beautiful.
Well, that's what they're saying. You got to have that two-tone look. You can't go all navy because it's way too
way
moody.
overdone. Yeah,
It's too moody.
you're too moody. You're too moody.
Back
All right,
splash.
backsplash. All right,
Backsplash.
we will be back tomorrow at 4:00 with an edition of Kimberly's Revolution on the We the People Podcast Network. And will Chad be here with us? Is he doing his show at?
No, Chad, I think has been pretty much quit.
It's he quit doing his show.
I don't know. It's been 3 weeks.
Is he going to do our show tomorrow?
I assume so.
Okay, because I know he has running the kid around duty. You and I have duty. I've got to run out and take pictures, and you've got to put up a sign.
I do.
So we're going to do that. And of course,
Backsplash.
if you are in the market for a new little ranch,
Yes.
make sure you call us tomorrow. It'll be up on the market live tomorrow, little ranch in Penfield. All right, that's going to do it for Kimberly's Revolution. We want to thank, of course, our sponsors, Taylor's Heating and
Howdy.
Plumbing, the maker of Tom's Hat, also Precision Lawn and Garden, and Express Sealers. Austin, thank you for joining us today. And of course, if you want to start your own podcast, and who doesn't, reach out to Fitz at Rock Vox Productions. That's ROXF. What is it? Rock Vox? ROC.
Backsplash.
ROCVOX Productions. And that's going to do it
There
for
it
us. We'll talk to you tomorrow
Howdy there.
at 4:00.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.